Stripe is the go-to choice for AI companies, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. 78% of the leading AI companies use Stripe to go to market quickly and scale globally. That includes pioneers like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Perplexity. Stripe has developed cutting-edge tools to improve everything from fraud detection to checkout optimization. Whether you're aiming for incremental gains or planning for enterprise transformation, see how Stripe can help at stripe.com.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Did you know that Game Pass or Pass is brought to you for free because of Spotify for podcasters? It's a totally free platform, and you can make a podcast today for free. Spotify for podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else that podcasts are heard. And if you're thinking about taking your podcast to the next level with a video podcast, Spotify can help you too. With Spotify for podcasters, you can also earn money in a variety of ways that includes ads and podcast subscriptions. So what are you waiting for? Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to spotify.com/podcast to get started right now.
Hi, hello, and welcome to the very first episode ever of Game Pass or Pass. I'm Cory. Joining me is
last episode, maybe.
I think we'll at least get 2 out, maybe, depending on how we feel. I've got 2 years of Game Pass, so we'll see. I'm Cory. This is Basher. Say hello, Basher.
Well, they know who we be. It's the same people as last time, right? All our listeners are coming right over.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure that they're gonna. All our Twitter followers, which are mainly just people I know, are. That's not. I guess that's not true. Like half of them are now. So will probably follow us. But I will tweet this out. Believe it or not, I will reset my Twitter password just to tweet this out. On Game Pass or Pass, we have done the work for you. We are playing Game Pass games that are available on PC, Xbox, both, sometimes only one or the other, and we are going to tell you if that game is worth playing or if you should pass on it. And on this first episode, we played Full Metal Furies, which is a game that Basher suggested. I had never heard of it.
Yes, it's I like the look of it. Also, it was the first thing in the list, so I figured, why not start here?
Where did you get the list? Because like on Xbox, it's alphabetical. So
I went to the website version of it, and then it was all listed by I listed by PC, and then I guess it did its own thing from there.
We suggest you should play Full Metal Furies. So at first, and when I first read it, I thought it was furries, like Full Metal Furries. I was like, oh, that'll be interesting, I guess. But then when I looked closer, I was like, oh, it's Furies.
I mean, that's what Snap said. He thought he was playing a furry game. And I'm like, I'm not against that. I don't know why people are anti-furry. Like, I'm
not against it. It's just when you suggested it, I was a little...
I feel like everybody's anti-furry right now, and we should respect people in their choices, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, whatever.
Hashtag furry life.
Full Metal Furies is developed by Cellar Door Games, which you might have heard from. They've made the very popular Rouge Legacy and the ever popular Don't Shit Your Pants.
I never played the second one.
I actually have. I made Chris play it too. So it's a very good text adventure sort of style thing. You're a guy.
I'm out. Great.
Yeah, you're a guy in the bathroom, and he's got to go to the bathroom, and yeah, it's a browser-based game, so you can play that right now with a quick Google search. So I've actually never played Rouge Legacy, though, but I think Rouge Legacy was kind of the first... is it roguelike or roguelite?
The two those are two different things. I don't know what the different things are though. I know like a rogue like I want to say is very faithful to the rogue genre, whereas rogue light is like an easy version of it.
Okay, because according to the internet, Rogue Legacy is a rogue-like game, which would make sense. But I
Light
guess whatever.
or
Like
like?
Like, like a like from Zelda, like.
Oh, like when you're in like middle school, you ask your crush if she's into you.
Exactly. Do you like me or just like me? So,
yeah.
and Rogue Legacy was like the first time that I feel like that genre got like a boost in terms of exposure. That was the first one that I had heard of because that one kind of crossed and that was on everything. That was on Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, all that fun. It's on Switch now, but yeah. So, regular price for this game, if you're not a Game Pass subscriber, is $19.99. And if you don't want to play it on Xbox, it's also available on Switch, PC, Xbox, PS4. Or I guess it's on Xbox. I already said Xbox. And it's also on Linux, believe it or not.
What? We can Linux this bitch?
You can, for all 6 of you out there. So
Is it
this
on
is also
iOS?
what?
Is it on iOS as well?
I didn't see an iOS, but Google could have lied to me. Google might have if it's iOS.
Google will never lie to you.
Well, if it's on iOS, they might. They don't like each other. This is also an Xbox Play Anywhere game, so you don't have to have a specific Xbox Game Pass on PC or just Xbox Game Pass. If you have either one, you can play it on Xbox or PC. And we also found out it is crossplay, so you can play on PC while your friends are playing on console. That's what we did. You were playing. Well, we tried, but it worked.
Did it though?
It did. Snaps and I were fine.
I'm going to blame this video game for my bad connection.
I think that might have been a Windows thing, but I can
Google
confirm.
itself told me my connection is very fast. Like the fastest.
Extremely fast. Yes. You should be uploading everything, not me. That's what I found out from that exchange. There is also no DLC. There are no microtransactions for you people out there that do not like them. For the achievement hunters, I would give this game a problem.
Personally, what? I love them. Some microtransactions.
Oh yeah, you just love.
It's my favorite part about a video game, personally.
I bet you love Apex Legends then.
I did for a little bit.
I still like that game. So this is a hard one that we're sort of toying around with. I am an achievement hunter, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to put in like an achievement difficulty out of 10 in terms of how to rate it, in terms of how easy or difficult it is to get all the achievements. I gave it a 5 out of 10 on that aspect just because there aren't a lot of achievements, and I from what I gather, about half of them you could get just by kind of playing the game. The other half you'd actually have to put some time and effort into it. So,
but that's
go ahead.
That's what I like about that's a system of achievements or trophies, whatever you want to call it, that I like. Is the ones where 80% of them should be just play the game, and then the rest should be like, all right, do something extra that isn't too ridiculous.
I like about a 70-30 split, but I always want one 100 achievement point achievement to be like really difficult.
That's okay for me.
Like I hate it when to like 1,000 point it, you have to like the last achievement is really difficult, but it's only worth like 10 points. I'm like, fuck that.
Right. And then on top of that is like if there's there's going to be a thing where I hear me say it often where there's a difference between difficult and tedious or whatever else. Right. So if that 100%, if that platinum trophy is going to be completely tedious, then I'm fucking out. I just can't.
Basically, yeah. Like God of War, I was out.
Yeah. So, I'm not doing that.
And the last piece is, unfortunately, it is not Xbox One and X enhanced for all of you X owners out there like myself, which is kind of a bummer. Sitting on my butt looking at my 4K OLED, I was like, this is kind of blurry. So, but that's because it's also a pixel art side scroller beat 'em up RPG.
Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to it too much because of the artwork. I'm kind of over pixel art, but this is one that has enough flair, enough effects that it works.
It doesn't look like every other pixel art game,
right?
Which is usually what pixel art drives me crazy. It's because you can't tell them apart. I've actually played quite a few pixel art games lately, mainly because of Xbox Game Pass. So, but you could definitely tell this game has a style of it. But I did not expect this game with the title to be Full Metal Furies to be a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And then also once we got into it, that it's basically someone described it as Castle Crashers, which I have played, but it's been a long time. But there's some super deep RPG elements here that I did not expect.
Yeah, this is I would say this is Thinking Man's Castle Crashers, because Castle Crashers is like literally kind of like an ode to like the old school beat 'em ups, where it's kind of like you just kind of left to right bashing your way through. Requires a little more thought process, a little more setup, especially like with different classes. And at first, I thought was going to be annoying idea of like certain enemies can only be hurt by certain classes.
Right.
But it actually kind of amps up the chaos in a good way.
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise about this game is that how deep it is for a beat 'em up, because when I think of beat 'em up, I instantly go back to like the TMNT game, the side scrolling TMNT arcade game, or even like The Simpsons or X-Men or whatever. Death and Return of Superman for all you Superman fans out there.
All right.
and like you said, like they're mindless and they're fun. So when I hopped into this and then stuff like that started happening, I was like, that's kind of strange. But then like it almost subtly is teaching you about combos and teaching you that there's a reason that you have different classes. So like when you pick one of the classes, like I'm a fan of the sniper personally, but you have like the tank and the sniper. And I was like, it gives you like a difficulty rating out of stars. It's like 3 out of 5 stars difficulty. I'm like, what? How could it be difficult? It's a beat 'em up,
right.
Like what are you getting at here? And it takes a little while to sort of things to click. But then once it sort of forces you to start doing things, like you said, attacking certain enemies, you sort of start to realize that, hey, I can like chain these attacks together with these two characters. And unfortunately, we didn't get to do it, but I was able to do it, is you can really play off each other's attacks. And one of my favorite things to do was with like the tank, he's got like she's got a shout, and it knocks him in the air. So you shout him, they pop in the air. And then with the sniper, they have a slowdown ability.
We did pull that actually.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, I remember you commenting commenting that, I shot him in the air.
Yeah, and that was really cool. It was just like a teamwork thing that I haven't felt like that since like Marvel Ultimate Alliance days, of just like, hey, pop him up in the air and then I'm going to, hit him with my web, which, that was always just something cool to do. It was never a mechanic of the game, but this game really leans in on doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping the farther we get into it, the more those exist, the more opportunity for that happens, because my issue with a lot of these co-op games right now is like co-op means you're playing with someone and that's it. The characters themselves don't really interact. This game so far, like, actually requires, like, even when you're playing single player, you're supposed to switch between characters, because the game is built in a way where people need to play together, and I think that is one of the biggest strengths of the game so far, for me anyway.
No, I definitely agree. It's even when you're playing it alone, like, the fact that they go out of their way to let you switch between two characters is extremely smart in terms of design, because it still teaches you how to play the game. So even when, I'm playing by myself, and then, we literally had this scenario to where I played for about an hour before you were able to. And so I was able to hop in and just be like, oh, hey, like, I know what you're doing and like the progress that you're going through, because I already did it. And since I already am used to having two characters, yes, I'm not controlling you, but I can still play off of you, because I know what to expect and I know what your moves can do.
Which is kind of genius, because like you go online, it's like there's no like you already know what to do with multiple characters, so there's like not less communication, but less need for let's set up this complicated thing. It's like, no, like we're in the midst of battle and I already know what you're going to do just by instinct, so I'm going to play off of that.
Right. It's got like a weird like fighting game vibe to it, of just like, since I know this character, I can sort of get in your mind and sort of understand, the chains that you're going to do and stuff. So, and it's, I don't want to say like it's super deep, because I don't want to, like you're not going to be pulling off like 60 hit combos or anything like that. But you know, it's still just extremely satisfying to be able to sort of kind of anticipate what you're going to do and be able to play off of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's hard.
It's like an extremely satisfying alley-oop, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly what it comes down to, because you don't want to oversell it. But I think the reason we're trying not to oversell that piece of the gameplay is because, like you said earlier, a co-op beat 'em up is usually just two characters side by side doing whatever they want to do individually. So like so this being one of the first ones I've played where they actually kind of put some thought into the different classes working together. I'm like, oh, like I do want to sell this, but like you said, it's not a Splinter Cell Chaos Theory level co-op.
Right. So I got probably, I want to say about 4 or 5 hours into it. And I will say that I'm a big fan of the way that the game progresses in terms of RPG elements as well. So, you know, you get your standard gold and stuff throughout the levels and you level up, but you actually feel like you are getting more powerful, which is something that might seem like a no-brainer, but in a beat 'em up game, that's pretty hard to do, to actually kind of feel like your character is progressing. But there's actually some pretty deep skill trees in this too, in terms of what weapons you can take. They're mindless and they're fun. So when I hopped into this and then stuff like that started happening, I was like, that's kind of strange. But then like it almost subtly is teaching you about combos and teaching you that there's a reason that you have different classes. So like when you pick one of the classes, like I'm a fan of the sniper personally, but you have like the tank and the sniper, and I was like, it gives you like a difficulty rating out of stars. It's like 3 out of 5 stars difficulty. I'm like, what? How could it be difficult? It's a beat 'em up,
right.
You know? Like what are you getting at here? And it takes a little while to sort of things to click, but then once it sort of forces you to start doing things, like you said, attacking certain enemies, you sort of start to realize that, hey, I can like chain these attacks together with these two characters. And unfortunately, we didn't get to do it, but I was able to do it. Is you can really play off each other's attacks. And one of my favorite things to do was with like the tank, he's got like she's got a shout, and it knocks him in the air. So you shout them, they pop in the air, and then with the sniper, they have a slowdown ability.
We did pull that actually.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, I remember you commenting like commenting that. Oh, I shot him in the air.
Yeah, and it was really cool. It was just like a teamwork thing that I haven't felt like that since like Marvel Ultimate Alliance days of just like, hey, pop him up in the air and then I'm going to, hit him with my web, which, that was always just something cool to do. It was never a mechanic of the game, but this game really leans in on doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping the farther we get into it, the more those exist, the more opportunity for that happens, because my issue with a lot of these co-op games right now is like co-op means you're playing with someone and that's it. The characters themselves don't really interact. This one, like this game so far, like actually requires, like even when you're playing single player, you're supposed to switch between characters because the game is built in a way where people need to play together, and I think that is one of the biggest strengths of the game so far, for me anyway.
No, I definitely agree. It's even when you're playing it alone, like the fact that they go out of their way to let you switch between two characters is extremely smart in terms of design, because it still teaches you how to play the game. So even when, I'm playing by myself and then, we literally had the scenario to where I played for about an hour before you were able to. And so I was able to hop in and just be like, oh, hey, like I know what you're doing and like the progress that you're going through because I already did it. And since I already am used to having two characters, yes, I'm not controlling you, but I can still play off of you because I know what to expect and I know what your moves can do.
Which is kind of genius, because like you go online, it's like there's no like you already know what to do with multiple characters, so there's like not less communication, but less need for let's set up this complicated thing. It's like, no, like we're in the midst of battle and I already know what you're going to do just by instinct, so I'm going to play off of that.
Right. It's got like a weird like fighting game vibe to it, of just like, since I know this character, I can sort of get in your mind and sort of understand, the chains that you're going to do and stuff. So, and I don't want to say like it's super deep because I don't want to, you know, like you're not going to be pulling off like 60 hit combos or anything like that. But you know, it's still just extremely satisfying to be able to sort of kind of anticipate what you're going to do and be able to play off of it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like an extremely satisfying alley-oop, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly what it comes down to, because you don't want to oversell it. But I think the reason we're trying not to oversell that piece of the gameplay is because, like you said earlier, a co-op beat 'em up is usually just two characters side by side doing whatever they want to do individually. So like so this being one of the first ones I played where they just kind of put some thought into the different classes working together. I'm like, oh, like I do want to sell this, but like you said, it's not a Splinter Cell Chaos Theory level co-op.
Right. So I got probably, I want to say about 4 or 5 hours into it. And I will say that I'm a big fan of the way that the game progresses in terms of RPG elements as well. So, you know, you get your standard gold and stuff throughout the levels and you level up, but you actually feel like you are getting more powerful, which is something that might seem like a no-brainer, but in a beat 'em up game, that's pretty hard to do, to actually kind of feel like your character is progressing. But there's actually some pretty deep skill trees in this too, in terms of what's like what weapons you can take. And so like for the instance, the sniper, like you would think it's just a sniper rifle, but it's like no, there's different snipers that have different like reload rates and different fire rates. So that completely sort of changes your how you approach situations. But what's also interesting is like all 4 classes, like the engineer, the tank, and the sniper, I'm forgetting one now, but they all actually do play quite differently. And that's pretty rare for a beat 'em up as well. And I will say, like, I tended to not the fighter's the other one. The tank and the fighter are kind of your more traditional kind of beat 'em up, whereas the engineer and the sniper are much more different. The sniper basically has whenever your main attack is like a red laser sight, and that's your trajectory of your bullets. And then the engineer has like a cone surrounding them, and so anything in that cone you do damage to by. She's got a gun as well that she shoots, and so. Being able to kind of switch between those classes when I'm playing alone was really interesting because I can switch not only between the classes that I have with me, but I have got the dual characters. So I tended to kind of stick with the tank and the sniper. I thought that was I think that's probably what most people would do their first time around. But really diving into those trees, even only 4 or 5 hours into the game, like it's kind of shocking how much you can actually edit and change and just sort of make it your own. And sort of find something that works for you. That's something that I don't know if I've ever gotten that from a beat 'em up. Maybe I'm playing the wrong beat 'em ups, but
yeah, like I was a big beat 'em up fan like coming up. So like I took some time away from them because they all kind of started doing the same thing. This definitely feels like at times more of an RPG than a beat 'em up, because even with the hub world where you switch out your skills and upgrade your abilities and whatnot. Like that seems like a very RPG. Like that's when just becomes a pure RPG at that point, and people are just sitting around a campfire, like, all right, what's the layout going to be? What are you going to have? Like, what am I going to have? Like, so we can actually like, play off each other well and like set up these combos and whatnot. So like, I really dig their direction for this. Like, this is one of those games where it gets real deep real quickly, and like before you know it, like it's what's the saying? Easy to pick up, hard to master.
Right.
Like this is I'm definitely getting that feel for this, because I can have anyone kind of just jump in and play this game with me. But if I really want to go hard, if I really want to like focus on certain things and try to do certain things, then I could really just kind of dig my heels into like creating this overthinking rather, creating this unique character for myself.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. It's again, like anyone can say, here, go beat these people up. Like that's been the basis of video games since, you know, the Atari. So that aspect is really nice that you can kind of hand the controller to anyone and sort of figure it out. Like, and this is a weird comparison, but it sort of reminds me of like the progression of Mario Kart, like Mario Kart, anyone can do it, but to do like your power sliding and to really start hitting those corners and stuff, it takes some practice. And there's two type of Mario Kart players. There's people that just play it, and there's the people that get into it. So I definitely agree with that. I'm also a big fan of the level designs. They do some unique things to sort of keep it varied in terms of how you scroll the screen. You can scroll left and right, up and down, but they do some interesting things with perspective, since it is a pixel art game, to where it'll sort of zoom in and out to give you different. I guess perspective might be the right word, but it keeps things varied in a way that you're not just always sort of zoomed in on the same thing. It's pleasing to the eyes in terms of being able to just sort of change things up. And the locations are pretty varied too. Sometimes I feel like you stay a little too long in one sort of setting, I guess you could say, but they definitely do change it up. Like there's different themes and everything like that. So in terms of just like a beat 'em up, like it's got a ton of variety that a beat 'em up needs, but then it goes one step further. And that's where I think it's standing out for me, just in terms of like when I picked this game up for the first couple hours, like the first couple hours went by really quick, and I just didn't expect to have all of this depth here. And so I was like, wow, like this is really cool and this is awesome.
Yeah, and to build off what you were saying about the look of it in the graphical settings, it's just kind of like what really helps the pixel art, because again, like I think I've said this already, I'm over pixel art, but what helps the pixel art in this game specifically, the art style, is that the only real pixel art is the characters, but everything else is also on like a cell shaded background or something,
right?
So like the action really pops. The characters really pop. So like even though you have 4 people on screen at a time and things are blowing up and things are getting shot at and whatnot, you never lose yourself, because the blue from the character does not match the blue in the background, because it's like one's like more of a painted effect and one's this really sharp pixel effect. So like I really like the way they get figured out how to make it so that chaos does not look too chaotic.
Right.
I never lost myself in this game, which is like something that happens with beat 'em ups a lot. Even game like Castle Crashers, I would go like, all right, which one am I again? Like, all right, but like this is like, nah, I know exactly where I am at all times. I'm never going to lose myself.
Yeah, definitely. And the best thing I can say about a pixel art game is like when I forget it's pixel art and I'm just playing the game. To me, that's a big compliment, because there's definitely games that I have played that it's just hard on the eyes, like you said. It's and sometimes it's not about losing yourself. It's just like the jagged edges eventually just sort of start looking, you see the jagged edges. You don't see the art anymore. And with this, like it took 5 minutes before I even was just like, oh, like I'm not looking at the pixel art. This is just a good looking game. So, and like you said, the colors and everything pop, but it's also extremely important, like you said, because different characters sometimes have to attack certain enemies. You never are confused about which one you want to attack. Like they're very good about making sure that the colors are very, very different. And like for your colorblind people, there are really good colorblind options, because Chris is colorblind, and so sometimes he has to do stuff like that, and that stuff is important, especially when you have colors that are so prominent in how you play the game. But they never. I never had an issue with that, which is important. Like if you're going to have me play this game for many hours, like you said, it's hard. You got to make sure that stuff is right. And those are the little touches that some developers don't do. So, but I guess the one place where I'm not digging the game is probably the story.
Oh, that's a story?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like it tries to be witty and funny and comical. And I can't say that any of it's landed for me yet. Like it's to the point like I can't even really describe it, because I don't want to say like I've forgotten it, but me describing it isn't going to help you. It's just pretty generic in terms of trying to be funny. Like there's a lot of like, oh, whoops, sorry about that. Just like morning newspaper cartoon style.
It's hard to
comedy.
It's hard to nail funny. Like scary is pretty easy. You got your jump scares, you got your tactics and whatnot, but it's hard to nail funny. In the I guess the gold standard would be the Portal series for a while. So it's like, but the issue is like you got to have like not just funny people, but talented people like write stuff like that. So like, so the second you set the story, I'm like, oh wait, I forgot I even had a story. Like, so like I kind of just skipped through all the story parts, and that's going to be a big issue probably going forward with me because I'm so used to the story not mattering that I'm just going to be like, whatever, like it has a story, nobody cares.
Right, and it's I don't want to say like it doesn't. I guess it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. Like the style of storytelling, like it's not going to suddenly change up what it's doing from what I'm seeing. So it's hard for me to say that, like, oh, like it'll get there, or something like that.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to. It doesn't seem like it is. But at the same time, like, it's not terribly important, but they definitely went out of their way, it seems, to try and make a funny and compelling, witty story with the banter between the characters. And it's prominent. Like there's every level usually. There is some sort of banter, and that's I commend them for making it easy to skip because it only takes 2 button presses, but at the same time, that's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like you don't want people to skip it, but at the same time, if they're not enjoying it, you got to give them a way to sort of just like, all right, let me get to the stuff that I do want to get to. So I commend them on that, but that's really my only hang up with it. And that the fact that it's not Xbox One X enhanced, like that's not a problem. That's just, I think that's annoying. I want to get that super, especially with like a pixel art game, it's like, I want that super crisp textures or super crisp visuals. So, yeah, but that's,
and I don't know if it has been, I don't know if it was a choice on their part or whatnot, but like, yes, the pixel art could be sharper, but I think they almost want that like a muddy effect with it.
Right. So based on where the setting is and
so it's not popping too much off of the painted like backgrounds, but another thing I did like about the gameplay is how not every single mission is go left to right and shoot the thing. Like there are mini games kind of later around where it's like you just need to survive for a certain amount of time and not worry about shooting. And so it looks like going forward they might be going deeper into the game. They may be looking to change things up just to keep things fresh and you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Where the end goal is essentially like build your own character, build your own squad, and see how unique you are compared to other people by the end of the game.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, I'm farther than you. I can say that, yeah, they definitely are always trying to do something to keep it, it's like, it's not, whether it's the perspective, whether it's the camera angles, whether it's what you're doing, they always try to make the next level that you did not the same as the one before. They're always trying something, they're trying to make sure that you don't get bored with it. And I think it works pretty well. I mean, you can't, I don't recommend playing it for 10 hours straight, I mean, if you want to go for it, but like it's not going to, keep you engaged for that long, but it's definitely going to do more than the average beat 'em up will.
Right.
So that's a huge, huge plus for it. So, but I think I don't think I have anything else to really say. I was surprised by this quite a bit. I did not expect to. I did. I definitely judged it by its cover and I judged it by its name. And I literally had no idea what this game was. And so I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
No, I'm going to keep this installed. For
sure.
If that's a recommendation on any level, like I'm just going to keep this game installed because I'm coming back to this, and I'll be playing more of this just to see like because I want to build my tank out honestly.
Right. Yeah. You want to see what else it can do. So, and then after that, you've got 3 other classes, and it's one of the interesting things is like I don't like the engineer. Like I just. For whatever reason, I can't get it down. But for some odd reason as well, I'm just kind of like, but maybe I'm doing something wrong. Like maybe I need to maybe I just need to keep playing with it. And then it ended up being the class I really want to play. Because I'm definitely that type of player to where, anything that's a class, whether it's, Overwatch or this, it's like I pick up kind of the go-to, which was the tank in this, or like Mercy in Overwatch. It's like, oh, I'm great at this. I'm really good at this. I don't want to play that other stuff because it's hard and difficult and I don't like it. But then eventually, someone else picks Mercy. And so I'm like, well, now great. Now I have to be something. And then it's like, oh shit, I actually do like this. I just had to give it more time, and I'm just an idiot. So, but so that's where I there's also a lot of mystery with this game. There's a lot of side stuff that you can do that I won't go into for spoiler reasons, but there are secret bosses and secret passages and secrets that are a lot of fun to explore and get to know. So there's also some end game stuff that I've looked into that's also pretty cool. So it's even if you don't have Game Pass, it's only $20, which I think is crazy good. That's a steal for this game.
This has too much content for just $20. Like this is definitely a game that has because I'm playing it right now actually, and like again I'm just different things. Like just again, like the level design, like it's just like you don't know what to expect going from one place to the next. I think this game is going to stay fresh for a long time for me.
Yeah, for sure. And it's got a cat that you can pet.
That's just the first familiar you get. You get different kinds of familiars.
Right. So the fact that you can pet the cat is an instant win. I think it's fair to say it just won Game of the Year, even though it came out last year. So, but so I think it's fair to say that we're both going to give this on Game Pass or Pass. We're going to give it a pass. I think everyone should check this out.
Yeah, and we might want to clarify. That's a good thing.
Yeah, pass is it's a pass with flying colors. You should not pass on it, as we like to say.
There we go.
Yes. Do not pass up the opportunity to be full.
And we're done.
Metal.
Yeah, we're definitely
and
done.
furious. Again, it's available for $19.99 on Switch, PC, Xbox, PS4, and Linux. It's on both Xbox Game Pass for PC and for console, so you only need one. You don't have to have one or the other, and it is cross-play, so if you've got friends on one or the other, you can play with each other. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. So let us know what you think about Full Metal Furies in our podcast services, wherever you like to listen to, iTunes, etc. And we will see you next time.
Later.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I ordered the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Score a 2 for $5 deal on a sausage McMuffin with egg and more. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.